There was a time when other people could control you without ever touching you. All they needed were a few words, one insult, one rejection, one unanswered message, one criticism, one disrespectful comment, and suddenly your entire mood changed. Someone could ruin your morning before you even got out of bed. Someone could say something at work, and you would think about it all night. Someone could ignore you, and suddenly you were questioning your worth. Someone could criticize your dream, and you would start doubting yourself. You thought you were reacting to what they did, but you were actually giving them control over how you felt. And that is one of the most dangerous forms of control, because when someone knows exactly what makes you angry, they know how to control you. When someone knows what makes you insecure, they know how to control you. When someone knows what makes you desperate for approval, they know how to control you. But one day, you get tired. Not tired of them, tired of yourself, tired of losing your peace over people who don't deserve it, tired of explaining yourself, tired of proving yourself, tired of reacting. And that's when something changes. You realize you don't have to react. You can pause. You can breathe. You can think. You can walk away. And suddenly, the person who once controlled your emotions has nothing left to control, because your greatest power was never controlling them. It was learning to control yourself. Understand this. People cannot always control what happens to you, but they can sometimes influence how you respond to what happens. And that response is where your power lives. Someone insults you. You have two choices: react immediately or pause. Someone disrespects you. You can lose control or maintain control. Someone tries to make you jealous. You can chase their approval or continue building your own life. Someone rejects you. You can beg them to reconsider or accept the answer and keep moving. The difference is not what happened. The difference is what you chose to do next. Your emotions are real. Anger is real. Pain is real. Fear is real. Disappointment is real. But emotions are not commands. Feeling angry doesn't mean you have to explode. Feeling hurt doesn't mean you have to hurt someone else. Feeling rejected doesn't mean you're worthless. Feeling afraid doesn't mean you have to run. You can feel something deeply and still choose your response. That is emotional discipline. And emotional discipline is one of the greatest forms of strength. There is a small space between what happens and what you do about it. That space can change your entire life. Call it the pause. The person who masters a pause becomes difficult to manipulate. Someone sends you an angry text. Don't answer immediately. Someone insults you. Don't answer immediately. Someone makes you jealous. Don't act immediately. Someone rejects you. Don't beg immediately. Wait. Breathe. Let the emotions settle. Because emotions are like waves. They rise. They become powerful. And then they fall. But if you act at the peak of the wave, you may make a decision that creates consequences long after the emotion disappears. How many relationships have been damaged by one angry sentence? How many opportunities have been lost because someone couldn't control their temper? How many people have sent messages they desperately wish they could delete? Don't become that person. Give yourself time. A minute, an hour, a night. Sometimes the most powerful response is a response you choose after you've calmed down. You will eventually learn that not everyone deserves an explanation. Some people misunderstand you because they don't have all the information. That's okay. Some misunderstand you because they see the world differently. That's okay. And some misunderstand you because they have already decided who they want you to be. No explanation will change that. So stop exhausting yourself trying to make everyone understand you. You don't need to explain why you changed. You don't need to explain why you walk away. You don't need to explain why you said no. You don't need to explain why you're protecting your peace. Your life doesn't require unanimous approval. Think about how much energy people waste trying to be understood. Paragraph after paragraph, message after message, argument after argument, and at the end, nothing changes. Let your actions speak. If you know your intentions are good, you don't need to convince everyone. If you know you're doing the work, you don't need to announce it. If you know where you're going, you don't need everyone to approve. Sometimes, silence isn't surrender. Silence is self-respect. Your attention is one of the most valuable things you own, and people are constantly trying to take it. A comment, a notification, a rumor, a disagreement, a stranger's opinion, someone else's success, someone else's criticism, something you saw online that you won't even remember next year, yet you allow it to consume your entire day. Why? Because you haven't learned that not everything deserves access to your mind. Ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow? Will this matter next month? Will this matter 5 years from now? If the answer is no, why give it 5 hours of your emotional energy today? You have goals. You have a future. You have a life to build. And every minute you spend fighting meaningless battles is a minute you could have spent building something meaningful. Don't let insignificant people become significant by giving them your attention. You don't become powerful by responding to everything. You become powerful by deciding what deserves your response. Anger can feel powerful, but uncontrolled anger is not power. It's a loss of control. Anyone can scream. Anyone can insult. Anyone can break something. Anyone can send a message they'll regret tomorrow. But can you stay calm when someone is deliberately trying to make you angry? That strength, real strength, is having the ability to react and choosing not to. It's knowing exactly what you could say, but deciding that silence protects your future. It's knowing someone deserves your anger, but refusing to give it. Because every time you lose control, you give someone else the ability to decide who you become. Don't hand them that power. Feel your anger, understand it, learn from it, but don't let it drive. Your emotions can sit in the passenger seat. They don't get to hold the steering wheel. You do. Imagine becoming so focused that distractions stop working on you. Someone talks about you. You keep working. Someone doubts you. You keep working. Someone leaves. You keep working. Someone succeeds before you. You keep working. Someone tries to provoke you. You smile and keep walking. Not because you don't care, because you finally understand your attention is more valuable than their opinion. You stop trying to prove people wrong. You start trying to become yourself. That is a transformation. You don't become untouchable because nothing happens to you. You become untouchable because what happens around you no longer determines who you become. Chaos can exist around you without becoming chaos inside you. People can be angry without making you angry. People can be negative without making you negative. People can doubt you without making you doubt yourself. That is freedom. One day, you stop reacting, and everything changes. You stop chasing explanations. You stop begging for approval. You stop arguing with people who only want conflict. You stop responding to every insult. You stop allowing strangers to determine your mood. You stop giving your peace to people who don't deserve it, and you become free. Remember, you cannot control what people say, but you can control whether you believe them. You cannot control who leaves, but you can control whether you lose yourself afterward. You cannot control rejection, but you can control what you do next. You cannot control criticism, but you can control whether you use it to improve. You cannot control chaos, but you can control who you become inside the chaos. So from today, pause before reacting, breathe before responding, think before speaking, walk away when necessary, protect your energy, protect your attention, protect your peace, and never give someone the ability to push a button and control your behavior. Let them talk, let them judge, let them misunderstand, let them underestimate you. You have a future to build, a body to strengthen, a mind to train, a purpose to fulfill, a life to create. You don't have time to be controlled by every opinion that enters your world. Become calm. Become disciplined. Become emotionally intelligent. Become difficult to manipulate. And remember, your power begins where your reaction ends. The day you stop reacting is the day you take your power back. Not because the world became peaceful, but because you became peaceful inside the chaos. Not because people stopped trying to control you, but because you stopped giving them permission. So when they provoke you, pause. When they insult you, pause. When they reject you, pause. When they disrespect you, pause. Then choose. Choose your future. Over your emotion, choose your peace. Over the argument, choose your purpose. Over the distraction, choose yourself. Over the need for approval. Because once you master your reactions, nobody can easily control you again. Master your emotions. Master your mind. Master yourself. And walk away from anything that requires you to lose yourself, just to prove you're strong. You don't need to react. You don't need revenge. You don't need to explain. You don't need their approval. You need control over the one person you will spend your entire life with, yourself. And the moment you truly understand that, you become dangerous in the best possible way. Calm, focused, disciplined, unshakable. The world can create the situation, but you decide the response. And once you own that response, nobody can control you ever again.